Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. We begin our video with a story about an incompetent manager our OP encountered. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Clear the paper jam and move on? Absolutely. Day 1. I arrived to find that new printers were being installed in my division. This is instantly suspicious as we were never upgraded first. I asked the IT technician for the reason. He tells me they were given an extra shipment. Fair enough. I print and the printer provides pages 1 before the printer rollers squeak into distressing beep sounds. The printer's flashing display tells me to clear the paper jam. I open multiple doors to remove 6 sheets of perfectly accordion folded paper. Paper jams happen. The second page prints. Loud beep, jam. 4 accordion fans of paper this time. After checking every possible user-resolvable item, I reset the printer only for my coworker to print and the same thing occurs. We all use the old printers that remain on the floor. Day 2. IT technician returns to replace all remaining printers on the floor. I tell my supervisor and the IT technician that the first printer had a problem. Supervisor shrugs and walks away. IT tech tells me he's on timed production and can't be bothered to make work that he won't get credit for. All printers are replaced. By the end of the day, even clients have commented on the shrill error chirp of the printers. Few complete documents print that day. Clients are livid. Knowing how critical the time frames are monitored, I mentioned the printing jams on the 5 new printers to my supervisor. La la land. Me. The new printers are broken. I'm clearing 5 folded sheets for every successfully printed page. La la land. I don't have time for this. The printers are new. Me. New and broken, sir. This is preventing customers from obtaining urgent materials in a timely manner. La la land. Sounds like an excuse and your personal IT issues. Out of 80 people, you're the only one complaining. Me, in stunned silence. La la, this will affect both our numbers and budget. La la land flicks me a backhand wave to dismiss me. Just clear the paper jam and move on. Absolutely, sir. I quickly message 4 of my coworkers that the only way to resolve this problem is to 1. Print as much as justifiably possible, and 2. Clear the jams and move on. They spread the word, and I have 80 employees ready to comply. I also learned these printers were actually rejected by our sister site, CEO location, a few weeks earlier. It's unknown why the printers weren't returned. Before this, my division used approximately 1 10-ream box of paper a week. A ream is 500 sheets, 5,000 sheets total. Now that 80 employees are printing as much as they can and the printer is eating paper, we're using at least 8 10-ream boxes per week. 40,000 sheets total. Our office admin staff are on it, and they're dutifully ordering paper to ensure we don't run out. Time is being wasted at the printer, dollars. The 40-gallon blue shredding bin is being dumped at least twice a day, dollars. And the paper deliveries are reaching epic proportions, dollars. It's glorious. La La Land is oblivious to the entire thing. I'm still not clear on how or why he ignored complaints. Guess his in-suite printer spoiled him. 28 days later. No, not exactly. Within a month, the site budget admin came to talk to La La Land to discuss expenses and waste. I and 4 chiefs are required to attend. It's Friday around noon. The budget admin has his doc delivery register and bills of lading from our recent office supply runs in hand. Budget is Mr. Dollars. Mr. Dollars, your division spent more in the last month on office supplies than you're allowed the entire quarter. La La Land, this is serious. Why are you guys ordering so many supplies? Me. I think I can explain the increase. Mr. Dollars. Someone needs to. Me. We received new printers. La La Land purses his lips. Mr. Dollars. No, printers come from another budget line item. Me. Yes. But you see, the printers spoil 4 to 6 sheets for every printed page. Silence. Mr. Dollars. Why didn't you tell someone? This is excessive. Me. I did. I told La La Land. He told me to simply clear the paper jams and move on. Silence. La La Land. You didn't explain the problem properly. Mr. Dollars, standing and opening the door. Thank you, team. La La and I are gonna go crunch the figures. 4 days later, all 5 printers were replaced with newer models from another brand by 10 a.m. Tuesday. I stood near Lala's office fanning myself with a perfectly accordion-folded sheet of paper when the printers arrived. He just glared. I hope he enjoyed the petty personal problem breeze from the Paper Jam fan. Update number 1. Believe it or not, I did email Lala about the printer. He didn't respond. Instead, he walked over to my desk 2 hours later with another IT tech and told him she's having personal IT issues. Show her how to print. Lala walked away and didn't consider that there could actually be a problem. I tried to communicate before going malicious. He could not have cared less at that point in time. Update number 2, Lala resigned a few months later to become a consultant with one of his college friends. I'm nearly certain this was a failure, as he could only hide behind civility for brief periods of time. And our second story, sleazeball housemate gets what he deserves. A few years ago, having just come out of a long-term relationship, I was seeing a girl who was a bit crazy. Let's call her Sarah. I also had a very long-term female friend who'd just broken up with her long-term boyfriend. Let's call him Grant. While Grant had been cheating on and gaslighting my friend, the two of them for some reason decided to stay friendly. Grant had lived with her, more like loafed off her, and needed somewhere to live now that they'd broken up. I got a call fairly late at night asking if he could stay with me, which I said yes to. I'd never particularly liked Grant, but I figured that anything between my friend and him was none of my business, and I needed someone to split the rent with. Grant moved in, and we got on relatively well. One evening, Sarah, Grant, and I went to the pub, we had a few drinks, and then headed back to mine. Grant knew that Sarah and I were involved. Fast forward about a week, and Grant had borrowed my laptop and got chatting with Sarah online as an MSN message had popped up with her saying hello. He said that it was him, not me, and they chatted. No problems here. A few days later, Grant asked to borrow my computer one evening while I'm out. I tell him the password, joke about using incognito mode if he's being naughty, and forget about it. When I get home, I ask him for the computer so that I can use it in the morning. First thing in the morning, I open the computer, which had run out of battery in the middle of Grant using it. Grant had been talking to Sarah on MSN, and the last few lines of their conversation was visible. It seemed somewhat inappropriate, but I thought it must be innocent. I scrolled up to investigate and discovered that the two of them had been sending photos/videos to each other, culminating in a video from Grant to Sarah of a tribute nature. Thankfully, the picture/video had all been sent via phone, so I wasn't subjected to seeing any of them. But I was pretty narked that he'd arranged all of this using my computer. I was furious but said nothing. Grant had a key to my house and owed me about £200 in back rent, which I wanted to get. I talked to my calm, collected Neapolitan colleague about the situation to make sure I wasn't overreacting, and he said, "You know what you have to do, OP." I planned my revenge carefully, being nice to Grant the whole time. By a strange twist of fate, that very evening, Grant managed to break his door key in the slightly dodgy lock. I immediately took both keys off him and said I'd get a new one the next day, not to worry about it. I also casually asked if he could sort out the back rent and make up a white lie about the landlord pestering me. Next morning, Grant calls out to me while I'm in the shower that he's popping to the ATM 100 meters from the house to get the money he owes me. Like a flash, I'm out of the shower, dressed, and grab a pack of smokes. I run out to the front of the house and sit outside casually smoking. Grant returns from the cash point, pays me the rent, and I offer him a lucky strike, which he takes. I swiftly finish mine. I was about halfway through when he lit up and say that I'm going inside to put the kettle on, but could he finish smoking outside so the house doesn't smell? I go in, the door locks behind me. I count the money and double-check I have his key. A minute or so later, the doorbell rings, and I lean out of the upstairs window and ask him loudly, "I was just wondering when it became okay to send videos of yourself wanking to the girl your housemate is seeing?" He asks if we can talk about this indoors, and I coldly say, "No. If you crap on your doorstep, sometimes you get crap on your shoes. Find somewhere else to sleep tonight. You're not coming back in here." I then ask him if there's anything he needs for the day, then go and get him some clean work clothes, his antidepressants, I'm not totally heartless, and a few other necessities, which I bag up and pass to him out the window. He has a few hours before he needs to be at work, and I just leave him sitting on the wall outside while I go out the back exit to go to work myself. I tell him that he can send me a message to arrange to pick up the rest of his stuff once he's sorted a place to live. He ended up staying with friends that night and collecting his stuff a few days later. I have no idea what happened to him afterwards. I never spoke to him again, just cold, hard cut him out. Sarah sent me a message later that day saying that she thought I was massively overreacting and to get in contact if I had calmed down enough. I just ignored it. I bumped into her a year or so later. She apologized for her actions, and we decided to forgive and forget. I helped her with some academic stuff, and we parted on better terms, although it's been several years now since I've seen her. All in all, I was actually more upset with Grant than I was with Sarah, although I thought it was pretty crappy behavior all around. I later found out that all the time Grant was with my friend, he'd been sending similar videos unsolicited to girls he worked with. Revenge was sweet, especially being so cold about it. And our next story. I'm his wife. I used to work at a numbered motel. Our GM was a no-nonsense Marine vet. He had 6 little yappy dogs and, a husband. He was great to be around, even if his dogs tried to bite you. They were cute and had little sweaters on. It was nice to have a lively front desk. Anyways, point is, he's gay. Everyone who works here knows that. I was working the night shift when a lady comes up asking for a room. We're a motel. Rooms won't cost more than $60, dirt cheap, bare basics, a place to rest your head. Well, she didn't like the price, so she tells me she's the GM's wife, it should be free. Oh, well, that changes everything. Nice to meet you finally after all these years. Sure. But first I need to see the names of all 6 dogs. And the name of his husband. She just went pale and had an oh crap look before mumbling something about car and wallet and ran out as fast as she could. Never did see her again. I told the story to my GM the next morning, and he almost spit out his coffee. It was a great laugh. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.